Usually what we do in a large project, so we move the configuration, we don't keep that in the code, we move that to a different file, for example, properties file here, or YAML file, where we are adding the configuration for each environment, dev environment, let's say that the testing environment, and for the production environment. And here what we do here is for the configuration, we are creating one file. Let's say that we are keeping here our app configs, right? And we are defining that it as a component. Also, we are defining that the property source. So which means that from where we are going to take our properties. So in our root file, we have added here application properties, and the application properties, let's say that we have only 3 configs here. So we have app name, version, and the support email, right? So what we do is we are using a value to inject these values to our name, version, and the support respectively. So in our app, what we are doing here, right? Again, we are creating a context, application context, and from the context, we are getting the app config, and we are printing, for example, config name and the version. And if we are going to run this, it will give us Spring Core tutorial version 1, right? So that's the first way. That's the first step how we can better manage our project. Another way that what we can do here, we can get rid of this one here, right? And we can also add that to a separate config file. So for example, let's go to our config demo, and let's add one file here, right? Let's call it, for example, I've already prepared that. Let's call it app config file. And here in the app config file, we are going to basically put all of the configurations that we are adding here. We are going to move that into the separate config file. So we are defining here which package to scan. We are defining here what is the class path here, and after that we can use, instead of here using here our base package, so what we can do is we can replace it with the bin config, right? Let's say that the app config, and the app config, and let's now import this one. This is much cleaner. Let's import this, and we can run it and see that it works as expected. As you can see here, it works as expected.